Intellectual leaders representing several Perth communities and associations are meeting this evening at the Welshpool Business Enterprise Centre to nut out the possible establishment of a strategic alliance of residential associations. Their aim tonight is to contribute to and leverage off the work already done by the Western Suburbs Alliance.
I think we did quite a good job of informing the public about the planning and amalgamation issues. This wasn't necessarily reflected in the electoral outcomes, unfortunately, but there is a feeling that the kind of movement that we've created needs to spread more widely.
Tonight is to organise support amongst the associations which are largely operating on their own, and to bring them together to work collaboratively to address the issues that we're all facing as associations and residents.
There is unfettered development going on in the locality, in the metropolitan area, and all of us have experiences, although separate, and I think together we can solve a bigger picture and come up with a solution.
Well, tonight really is about, I think, connectedness, empowerment, to allow community groups to know that they're entitled to have a voice and to give them an opportunity to share their concerns and together find a way forward.
Ahead of this evening's agenda is the strong collective opinion that there is zero community inclusion within many state and local government decision-making processes, especially with regard to the current WA local planning regime.
And as you know, we have the DAP system, where it's very difficult for councils to appeal against developers' proposals, whereas the developers have the right of appeal. And there was also a remark made by somebody today in the paper which absolutely scared me. You probably know that they're now going to build up to 53-storey high apartments on the Belmont Racecourse site. And somebody, Future Perth, I think he was called, the representative, said we can't let the planners stand in the way of the developers. This is a frightening thought for the people of Perth and the areas around Perth.
That the community has been removed entirely from the process, as has local council. So the regime as it stands at the moment is entirely a state government activity. That's a real concern to us.
And so people are not sure what it is. You know, am I meant to comply with the town planning scheme and my neighbour isn't? You know, it's got to be a fair and equal playing field, and the town planning scheme is the mechanism for that.
The DAPS has created an environment whereby there are mechanisms to bypass local community concern and local councils as well. They're structured particularly 5 members in a DAPS panel, 3 from outside the community and 2 from the council. They're structured to give the appearance of democracy occurring and consultation, but actually there's very little required, and decisions can be made in the absence of any opinion from the community or the council, and that's a danger.
If we have this alliance, then in fact we know what to do with that, and probably in the longer term, looking to the next state election, by that time, hopefully there will be a movement where the people can just make sure that their voices are heard.
I think we can do that through websites, through social media, through any kind of media that's available to us. And I think there is groundswell for coming together and finding solutions that suit the community.
If you're not united in your voice, the voice becomes fragmented, and that allows things to happen that shouldn't possibly happen. Any of these groups actually want to happen, any municipality wants to happen, is to allow proper consultation to occur, and these sorts of groups will allow that to happen.
The important thing is that we are seen to have a great deal of credence and credibility, that we know that what we're talking about, and we have the opportunity to be included in the process of planning and decision making.
In the absence of ratepayer groups, then what happens is that there is no voice of the people, and, shall we say, for want of a better word, evil triumphs.
Alliances, strategically formulated, represent citizens who want to be properly consulted and have reasonable control over their communities and environment. This is a fundamental and inalienable right of all Australian citizens. I'm Melissa Gurney for Undercurrent.